Lombardi is considered football royalty, blue blood. Belichick is blue collar, and he likes it that way. Lombardi was one of the greatest motivators in history.
You'll be proud of this game, and you can do a great deal for football today.
Lombardi could walk into a room and suck all the air out of it. Belichick could be in the room, and you might not even know he's there. And he likes it that way. Lombardi never had a losing season in the NFL. Belichick, whose first head coaching job was in Cleveland, didn't have a winning season until his fourth year. But the real difference between these men is not in bloodlines or personality or motivation or numbers. It's in their approach to building a champion. If I were starting a team from scratch, I'd want Belichick. If I were rebuilding a team, I'd want Lombardi. But I'd be happy to have either. Belichick is a planner and a schemer, and he'll rarely do what's expected.
Caught, touchdown in the end zone. It's Vrabel, Mike Vrabel.
Instead of planning, Lombardi emphasized execution. A minimum number of plays performed with a maximum amount of efficiency.
My number one play is the power sweep.
To Jim Taylor on a power sweep, cutting back at the 10. Taylor is in for the touchdown.
He didn't really care what the opponent was going to do, and he certainly didn't care that the opponent knew what he was going to do. Here's our play. It's called the power sweep. We'll hand the ball to Horning or Taylor. Now you try to stop it.
Come on, look at me, 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 look at me.
Lombardi's force of will could get his players to do things they never thought possible. Belichick won't ask his players to do the impossible, but he'll put them in positions where ordinary execution will yield extraordinary results. In 2004, Belichick had a linebacker playing tight end.
Touchdown, that's Mike Vrabel.
A receiver playing defensive back.
Intercepted Troy Brown.
And a defensive lineman playing receiver.
Completion to Klecko, who is a nose guard slash linebacker.
He is not a by-the-book coach, but every week he reads the whole book when it comes to preparing for an opponent. And the complex game plans he gives his team reflect that. Lombardi read the whole book too. He just gave his team a Reader's Digest version of it. Lombardi was a pitcher with one pitch, a fastball down the middle that he didn't think could be hit. Belichick can bring the heat as well.
The thing we're really looking for is penetration.
But he likes to throw some junk to keep the batter off balance. He finds his opponent's strength and takes that away by creating favorable formations or matchups.
And that's the ability to put pressure on. These are the things that Coach Bill Belichick can really put into a game plan.
His defense is like a kaleidoscope. And with each little twist, it presents a totally different picture to the offense. Just look how that defense mesmerized the Colts in the 2003-2004 playoffs. One of the highest scoring offenses ever, led by perhaps the smartest quarterback in history, scored only 2 touchdowns in 8 quarters. And in the 2004 playoffs, 1 week after manhandling Manning,
Tonight, the AFC Championship game.
New England scored 41 points against the league's top-ranked defense. Belichick's Patriots are like the electric company. They can shut you down or light you up, seemingly with a flip of a switch. Belichick sees every Sunday as a chance for his team to be something different. Lombardi wanted this week's Packers to mirror last week's Packers. His player's job was to master his system. Belichick cares less about systems and more about situation.
All I want to do is create different situations, keep them alert, keep them thinking.
Lombardi told his players exactly what he wanted them to do.
Put your shoulders in there out there.
Belichick asks his players if they know what they're supposed to do.
What are you guys thinking about right here?
2 different ways of teaching.
Come on, Messine. You got to circle route right down the field.
What's going to happen if the offense jumps offside?
But obviously both work. Now, if you were going to ask me to compare Belichick to a coaching legend, I'd pick Paul Brown, who was the father of the modern game. He was a teacher who introduced the classroom to pro football. Belichick has brought the corporate boardroom to football. He was an economics major, and he knows that in today's NFL, if you don't master the salary cap, you'll wear the dunce cap. And no team has managed their money better than the Patriots. Now, Belichick isn't exactly Donald Trump, but he has told players, "You're fired." Bernie Kosar in Cleveland, Drew Bledsoe and Lawyer Malloy in New England all were let go because that was what Belichick felt was best for the team. Football is a game, but it's also a bottom-line business. And maybe that's the one place where Belichick is most like Vince Lombardi. For both of these coaches, their bottom line is all about winning. A trophy, a street, and a rest stop on the Jersey Turnpike are all named after Lombardi. Belichick has a name that's hard to spell and even harder to pronounce. But like Lombardi, the name Belichick will forever occupy a proud place in football history.